June. This is what Steve's been telling us, you don't want to short a dull market, you want to do this. It is kind of boring, right? But even in a boring market, we crushed wind, nailed wind right off the bat. We nailed Tesla right off the bat and got in, took it way higher very nicely. Fay double right off the bat, and Kite took off. Look at that. I mean, we're just market's just sitting there doing nothing. We crushed 4 things just like that. Trading market. Market goes up, market goes down. Trade it to what your goals are. Play to what your goals are. Sit on the sideline on many things if that's what you want to do. Nothing wrong with that, okay? Today we got some Regeneron news. Watch this thing. If the news is good, this thing's really, really going to explode higher. So keep an eye on that. Regeneron, very, very nice. Excuse me. Got some stockholder meetings today. You got Tesla and you got Netflix. So just know that Google had a stockholders meeting. They didn't do anything. And the stock ripped all the way up to 56, and then straight back down $12. So what happens if Netflix doesn't do anything, Tesla doesn't do anything? So just know that. Musk already talked yesterday, okay? So if it fails and goes back through 251, right back down to 254. Netflix, they're going to do a split. Just hope it's not a 4-for-1. If it's a 4-for-1, it's in a lot of trouble. Not from the aspect of the stock going way down and stuff. The aspect of if it does a 4-for-1 and goes to 150, it's no longer going to have a 20 to 30 point day. That 30 point day becomes a 7-point day. So if you buy 5 points out of the money, and they'll still charge you 40 cents for them. They go to $1.50. You just don't make the money that you used to make, and that's why I would like no stock split personally, because I like to be able to take something from 20 cents to $17. 20 cents you divided by 4, that means you're buying them for 4 cents, 5 cents, and they're going to go up to $4. But they're never going to give them to you for that price. It doesn't work that way. Okay, so right or wrong. Okay, so that's the little thing at the beginning. Let's go to Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs just sitting there. So the dollar yesterday went way, way down. On the news, everybody thought they're going to raise rates, and the dollar went way, way up, and that was good for banks. But then you get this CEO report that all these CEOs think things are getting worse. They're agreeing with Steve. Things are all getting worse. So are they going to jump the boat and still raise interest rates? I don't think so. I actually don't think they're going to do anything this year, And then we go through next year and we're going to do the same thing. When are they going to raise rates? What are they going to? Who cares? Just trade what's working. Trade the market. Trade what you see. Okay? Very straightforward. That's Goldman Sachs here. 208, 208, 207, and then, wow, 206. This is really strange. You don't see that. 208, 207, 206, and then 204. Downside, upside, 212. 212 now, and then 216 on the upside. We do have the dollar starting to move up a little bit today, but not that much, so let's see how that plays out. So that's Goldman Sachs. SPX is at $20.79, continues to go lower. We said under 2091, you're at 2071. So you got about another 8-9 points lower. If it breaks 2071, you got to really watch 2050 just because it's a round number, but it's really 2048. But if it gets through 2048, you may be all the way down at 2018. Wow. So now you got a little bit more of a correction coming in if that happens. So keep an eye on that. Historically, what we've seen is every time you have this, you just rip right back higher again, okay? So we've seen this. You're near the bottom of a lot of this stuff, and do you rip higher, or do you continue to go down? So just keep an eye on that. That's SPX. Upside back to 2091, and then 2103, 2103, 2110 on SPX. Regeneron has some news. Haven't seen it all. Fed is saying the cholesterol drug is good. If it is good, this thing's going to open over 540, may go to 560. Keep an eye on that. Don't know if this is phase 2, phase 3, whatever, so keep an eye on that. If it's not phase 3, and I don't know, and if somebody can let us know, if it's not phase 3, then be careful, because BIIB's news was really good on their drug, and it wasn't phase 3, it was phase 2, and then it started a sell-off that took it down 70 points, okay? So just know that. I mean, something you need to know, right? Very straightforward. That's Regeneron. Downside, if this thing gets under 495, I'm not saying it's going to. I think actually it's going to go up. But 495 break on the downside would be very, very bad for it, if and when that were to happen. Okay, Google L continues to move a little bit lower. Every time it gets near 552, it doesn't matter. If you short it and goes to 558, it doesn't matter. Every time it gets up there, it comes right back down. So that means we're waiting for the news on earnings. We got some couple months out. They're going to be fine because they're going to take it up before earnings thing. Unless the market craters, he's in this range. He's going to go right back up, and we may add some here a little bit later. So that's Google L 544. He's a little bit underneath that. 538, 531 on the downside, 549, 552 on the upside. BABA, very interesting here. So you get the Jack Ma news. He's in the U.S., and this reverses right early in the morning. He goes up from the down. He goes right to our 94.4 or 91.40. He actually gets up just a few pennies, and then he drops $4, $3. And we've told you at these numbers, there's two ways to play this. You can play it on the upside. You can play it on the downside. It didn't break 91.40, and it went down 3. Boom. Just like that. That's how amazing these numbers are. It's a case of write them down, remember them, and watch them. If you're only watching 3 stocks, it's okay. Just watch the numbers around there. They work very, very well. So it's BABA needs to get back through 89.50 now, 89.50 and then 91.40. So it's BABA underneath 87 gets really, really ugly here. Would not want this to break 87 on the downside. Win trying to break lower here, had a very, very nice move yesterday. The news is bad. The news is just bad, and it's getting worse. It's getting worse. These people think it's getting better. It's getting worse. It's getting worse. And here's the thing. The CEO came on TV and he said, Macau's going to get worse before it gets better. And everybody starts buying the stock. And then he said, Vegas isn't doing good. And people start buying the stock. Really? The CEO told you that on TV, and you got these goofball these analysts that don't listen to CEOs. That's the biggest thing. It doesn't matter if it's on the upside or the downside. You got to kind of pay attention to what they're saying. The guy told you it was bad, and the stock was at, 124. It went all the way to 90. He told you it was bad. It went to 98. And then it bounced because somebody said, oh, Macau's not as bad. It's only down 36% year over year. How are you making any money if you're down 36% year over year? Then the next year it's going to make down 24, and the year after that it's going to be down 10. How long is it going to be bad for? So you just got to pay attention to that. Very, very interesting. That's Win. Not really good. If it gets under 99, watch it. 97. 97 breaks 94. Remember, when the market went bad in 2008, these stocks were $10. Okay, so that's a win. Tesla stockholders meeting today. Watch 558, 550. I'm sorry, 258, 259 area. Through that, you got 266, 266, 266. Don't overpay. They got crazy high yesterday. You know, he got and we got those, and we got out, made very, very nice money, got out. And one of the reasons we got out is the market and all the techs are going lower. So you thought, you know, if everything goes lower, it can drive that lower. But here's the thing, is Google ripped up on the shareholders meeting, and then it went down. So because same reason with Tesla, it's going up because of the shareholders meeting. And then all of a sudden Musk was talking, but he was talking yesterday, the day before the shareholders meeting. So all of a sudden, he's talking before the shareholders meeting. What's he going to say at the shareholders meeting, right? So just be careful with this one. If this thing, if nothing happens, it can go down. Now that being said, technically he's broke up. he's broke up. He broke through 252, and that's why he ripped very nicely. Technically, on a good market, if the market was just flat for 3-4 days, this thing could get to 266, okay? But if everything else is selling off, it can come down, so just keep an eye on that. Technically, this can go to 266, then you got 272, and if it breaks 279, it can really, really take off. So that's technical if you believe in the technicals. Okay, so that's Tesla, and when it broke 252, it just ran. Very straightforward. That's why we got in. It broke. We just paid up. Boom, and you could have made $1.80 on it. Got all the way up to $1.80 positive. You could have got out for that. We got up for a little bit over $1, so nothing wrong with that. So that's Tesla. Okay, 252 breaks, probably back to 244. Facebook just doing nothing. So, I mean, in my opinion, just not doing much. Very straightforward, okay? So very difficult to play. Very difficult to play. I mean, it's bad enough you buy something like a Netflix and the stock moves $1 or $2 and you're 10 points out of the money, it's not doing nothing. What's worse is you buy something like a Twitter, you buy it $1 out of the money and the stock moves a penny. I mean, you're going to watch it all day long for a penny move? That's just brutal, okay? So that's, Facebook just not moving that much. Maybe to the downside, not to the upside. Baidu, once again, we're going to tell you over and over again, the news on Baidu was bad. They have the corruption news. They have a bunch of issues. Now it bounced. It bounced very nicely. Wind bounced very nicely, starting to fail. But Baidu, if it starts to fail and it breaks 197, he's 190 in a flat. Okay, now he is the Google of China. He's very, very strong lately. So he's moved up from 187 all the way to 202. He started to go higher yesterday. 206 is very hard. 207, 206, 207 range. 212 is stunningly hard. Okay, all that. So right now he's kind of in no man's land. Under 197 will drive this thing lower. I don't know how high it can go because, I mean, you got Baba, you got these things that are not moving as much to the upside. Really need China to move it as a whole. Be careful with other China stocks, okay? I mean, all these other China stocks and stuff. Baidu, understand, it's still the leader. It's still the biggest one. It's the one that everybody likes, and it's had 2 bad quarters. So just know that, okay? So that's Baidu. Apple down a little bit today. I see a lot of upgrades on Apple. Apple upgrades. But it's Apple. Dudesky $15 to 125, BMO $10 to 145, Cowan $5 to 140, Jeffries $5 to 135. so 4+ upgrades, and maybe some more out there, but he's actually working lower. They don't really like this music thing. And here's the thing with that, and I understand these people saying, oh, they got this huge install base and all that. The market likes somebody buying somebody. You just buy it. You buy their customers and stuff. The market has figured out the same thing that they figured out with Microsoft coming in and saying, Mike, we're so big. And everybody has our product. We have Windows and stuff. We're just going to put in an iPod competitor, Zune, and we take over the market. And they kill Apple stock, and then Zune goes away. Now, nobody's saying Apple goes away, but we're saying Apple's coming in with a product and say, oh, everybody's going to buy my product. Well, the world isn't like that. People just don't have a problem with a second and third, fourth product. I mean, they don't switch. They don't do it. Some people do, but the bulk of the people don't do it. Okay, and that's what the market is telling you is, okay, yeah, they may have a product and it may be good and they may bring in a little bit of revenue, but it's not going to change the world from that product perspective. And whereas if they would have went up and bought somebody, it would have worked a little bit different. And that's my opinion on products. That's how it is. I mean, you have an incumbent, you go buy the incumbent. Facebook try to build their own, et cetera, and all this other stuff. It doesn't work that way, okay? I mean, I seen yesterday they're saying, oh, Apple Search is going to become huge. If Apple wants search, go buy Yahoo. Integrate it. Buy Yahoo. You already have search. I mean, to go in there to do your own and take 10 years to do it and stuff, it's a hard business. Nobody's saying they can't be successful. I like Apple. I think the Apple product is going to be good. I actually think the watch is going to be a beast. So I like Apple, but everything is not going to be great, okay? So that's Apple, and they beat it up on every single event that they don't like, right? I mean, that's what they do. Now, that being said, Apple, if it gets down to 126, 127 may be playable, but you can't, very difficult to pay $1 for Apple, $1 out of the money. It doesn't move enough. Yesterday, the 128s were what, $1.05 or something like that. It just doesn't move enough. It's a very, very difficult trade unless you're going to sell it for 20 cents. If you're going to sell it for 20 cents, then you're okay. So that's Apple. Netflix down a little bit, needs to get back to 633 now, 633. So under 633 is, not great. 626 is positive. They have the stockholders meeting. Let's come out. Be careful with, if they do a 3-for-1 or a 4-for-1, the stock will go up. It's like Visa. Visa ran up $20 and then it quit moving altogether. So the stock will move. He could easily get to 675, 680 on a 4-for-1 split. Okay, we don't want to see it. We want to see nothing more than a 2-for-1 split at all if they do that. Okay, so I mean that's me, because I'm interested in the option play on it. We like playing it. I don't want to sit on the sideline and we will. We will do it like Apple, where we play it. Rarely we play Apple just because it just doesn't move enough. I mean, last week we're in Apple 131s, and the stock moves 50 cents and your option goes down a penny. It doesn't make any sense to play them. So that's Netflix. Keep an eye on it. 633, downside 619. Amazon just sitting there. Every time it gets near 438, it fails. Every single time it gets near 438, it fails. Needs a big news event. I don't know if an upgrade can do it. An upgrade can take it up to 438, but I don't know if an upgrade can take it through 48. It needs a news event, and it may take earnings for that to happen. Keep an eye on it. It's Amazon. The news is fine. The news flow is very good on it, but it needs a big trigger to get it through that level, and then it will really, really squeeze. Downside 416 on it, upside 428, 433. That's Amazon. FEYE just up a little bit. He's doing okay. Cyber, CYBR is way down. These things tried to break out yesterday. They didn't. When does the next news set of event come? We'll have to see. That's FEYE. He's right at 51. Needs to take out 5260. 5260 today. Numbers changing a little bit. 5260 on the upside. Downside under 49 would be bad. Price line. The dollar ripped way, way lower yesterday. This thing should have went up. It didn't. So be careful with this one. Under 1162 could probably get down to 1147 pretty fast. If the dollar reverses and starts going back down today, and you get another penny drop in it, this thing could reverse way up and be up $20 to $30 on any upswing. So keep an eye on that. That's price line. Patience. See what the dollar does. It trades on the dollar. Now, that being said, the Baidu news was bad, and it's bounced. The Win news was bad. It bounced, starting to come back down. The LinkedIn news is bad. It's bounced. Hasn't started to come down yet. Priceline news was bad. It bounced huge. It come right back down. So just know that. The news flow is bad from the corporate perspective now, but the dollar is coming down. So does Priceline, do they ever pre-announce? Does somebody come out and say it's not going to be that bad? That changes the whole trend. That's what you're really looking for. If you get that, then it really reverses. Juno, very, very nice move last week. Now he's coming down. He's basing. I really like Juno. I may buy this stock if it gets to the 62 area. If it gets to the 62 area, I may buy the stock. And then back up to 71, 72, and that could be a breakout on it. Kite moved very nicely yesterday. He was down, got down to like 59-ish. Got a couple quick messages. Says, Sam, I dumped Kite. I'm like, okay. I said, you bought too many. If you dump Kite, you're 2 weeks out. It moved up, 15 points. It went down 3. You dumped it. Then all of a sudden, it recovers the 3, and it goes 2 more, and it goes positive. Then I got a message back. Oh, man, I'd have been up $1 instead of being down 50 cents. That means you're buying too many. I mean, a stock that goes up $15 can come down 3. Okay, a stock like Wynn yesterday goes down $4. If it bounces at 20 cents, it's okay. It's still going down. Okay, so just know that kite needs to take out 66 area now. 66, 68, real number is 63 to 68, but 66 is really the internal trigger inside that, so keep an eye on that. That's kite. Still have another week. Let's see how it plays out if it starts to run. This is very, very strong right now, okay? Downside 59. LinkedIn just sitting there basing. Had a couple big upgrades. It's held relatively nicely. Under 207 is bad. Over 216 is good. CMG just sitting there, starting to head back lower. It tried to break up through 614, didn't do it. This needs an upgrade. Thought it may get an upgrade because it didn't break 600. Keep an eye on that. Needs to get through 614 and 616. 616 will trigger this thing pretty fast. That's CMG. Whew. Okay, let's go to next watch list. Gilead holding very, very well, just basing, needs 616 next. BIIB waiting for 403. Celgene had some news flow yesterday on takeover, went up and went down. This is still in a downtrend. Under 108 is bad. Ageo holding very nicely. Over 124 can go to 131. Blue holding very nicely. I like the 200s on it. We'll watch those at $2. If we can get them there, watch ESPR. There's this news on this Regeneron. Does it affect ESPR? Keep an eye on that. That could possibly happen. That's what we know. Okay, let's go to comments, questions real quick here. Regeneron's halted. We'll let you know what happens there. A bunch of Apple upgrades. And Apple almost always goes down after WWDC. Thank you, Mr. Tom. Thank you, Mr. Steve. Everybody have a great trading day. See you in chat.